Here in just a few moments, we are going to recognize and present this year's John Harrison Magnanimitas Award to. You're gonna have to wait. Yeah, gotcha. You were. Yeah. Rev has jokes today. Before Mr. Shaw Wilson is going to come and share a few words about gratitude, because again, this is our last chapel program until we go on Thanksgiving break. And this is a time of year where I hope you are becoming mindful of the things for which you're truly thankful. I think practicing gratitude is a healthy way to live. It's a way that kind of lightens our daily realities, and it's something that maybe we oftentimes, I know myself included, forget to do. For example, at Baylor Church last night, I was telling the story about my in-laws, and I have a lot of stories about my in-laws that we're not going to get into today. I talked to somebody about them. But for a couple of years in a row, we would gather for Thanksgiving at our house with my in-laws, and there'd be this big, frantic push in the kitchen to like get all the food out, and there'd be this delicious food, like, this is spread of Thanksgiving food that I know many of you have as well. And it'd be like taking hours and hours and hours, and they say, hey, we're going to eat at 2, which they never eat at 2. They're eating at like 6 o'clock and just waiting. And then we put it down, and they like take a picture for Instagram, and then we sit down, and in not even 10 minutes, it's gone. And it's like Thanksgiving is over without taking time to reflect on the day, without taking time to talk about what we're thankful for, without taking time to even pray. And I told my wife, never again. We're going to actually pause and go around and think about the things for which we're thankful. So my challenge that I left our Baylor Church kids with last night that I want to challenge you with today is, if there is someone here at Baylor in your life, maybe it's a classmate, maybe it's someone in your dorm, maybe it's a teacher, maybe it's a coach, maybe it's someone in the dining hall. If there's someone here at Baylor for whom you are thankful for, you are grateful for this person, I want to encourage you before we go on break to tell them. Could you do that for me? Think about it. It might be somebody sitting right beside you right now. That's okay. Hey, I'm thankful for you. Right? Because I want you all to know that I'm thankful for each and every one of you. Let's give yourself some time to think about those things for which you are thankful. And if you would, humor old man Rev for just a couple moments longer. If I could, I would like to lead us in a bit of a Thanksgiving blessing as we begin this time together. So if you are willing, would you consider bowing with me as we have a word of prayer? Almighty God, we ask today that you would receive our thanks and praise for all you have done for us at Baylor. We thank you for the splendor of your whole creation, for the beauty of this world and this place, for the wonder of life, for the mystery of love. We thank you for the blessings of family and friends, and for the loving care which surrounds us on every side. We thank you for setting us at tasks which demand our best efforts, and for leading us to accomplishments which satisfy and delight us. We thank you also for those disappointments and failures that lead us to acknowledge our dependence on you and others. Grant us the gift of your Spirit that we may know truth and make it known, and at all times and all places may give thanks to you in all things. This we ask for the sake of your holy name. Amen. And as always, go Big Red. Can we give it up for Mr. Wilson as he comes to share a few words?
Hey, good morning, everybody. Thank you, Rev. A lot of quick eaters in the Gallimore household, I believe. Takes a little longer than 10 minutes for guys at my house. So today we gather for our last chapel before Thanksgiving break. It's my favorite holiday, and one which necessarily asks us to think about what we are thankful for, as Rev pointed out. But I'd argue that thankfulness or gratitude should be looked at as a year-round thing. In fact, I will make the case today that gratitude is something that all of us need to practice all the time. And I'll talk to you about what that practice might look like and why it is a great thing to aspire to. First off, exactly what is gratitude? Most dictionaries would describe gratitude as something like the state of being thankful or being ready to express thanks and return kindness. Being ready to express thanks and return kindness. I've always been impressed since I started back at Baylor many years ago with Baylor students and teachers for having what I would old-fashionedly call good manners. For the most part, they consistently say please and thank you, and they hold doors open for people. Those are culturally expected behaviors that help create a pleasant place for us to be. However, the difference between gratitude and good manners is this. Good manners are important, but they're only actions. Gratitude requires that you have good manners, but it goes one step further. Gratitude is a state of being which requires one to actually think about and consider why you might say please and thank you and hold the door open for someone. I'll give you an example. Many of you, maybe even most of you, are kind enough to thank the folks in the dining hall when they serve you food or when they return your plates and cups to the dishwashing room. I can tell you that it makes a huge difference for those folks' work days, and I really appreciate it too. It is a really good thing to do and a great example of good manners. True gratitude, however, asks you to think just for a moment exactly what you are thanking them for. Why are you thanking them? I think some folks might say, my parents pay for me to go here and the folks in the dining hall get paid to do a job. Isn't that enough? I hope you don't think that. It's a harmful way to view that relationship. And when I say harmful, it's harmful to the folks in the dining hall in some ways that I think you would expect, but it's also harmful for you, perhaps even more so. Practicing gratitude asks you to think about, just for a moment, why you're thankful. In the dining hall example, you're thankful that Miss Regina got up early to come to work, took the time to prepare the salad bar with care, and served you really good food with a smile on her face and often a kind greeting. It's a hard job, but I know she's thankful that she works at a place like Baylor and gets to know you guys. You don't need to dwell on it or write a paper about it, but pausing just for an instant to think about it is really important, and it's the essence of gratitude. You could think, hey, this lady doesn't really know me that well, but she cares enough to try her best every day to feed us. I really appreciate that. And when I say thank you to her, I hope it makes her feel good about that too. If you practice that consistently, not only do you help create a better environment around you, you do a lot of things that help you personally. According to many health researchers, practicing gratitude every day has many health benefits, among them reducing depression, lessening anxiety, supporting heart health, relieving stress, and improving sleep. In other words, practicing gratitude is good for those around you, but may even be better for you. But how does one practice gratitude? Rev mentioned that term as well. How do you practice gratitude? Well, in addition to my example about pausing and thinking about a kind word or gesture, here are some ways to practice. Number one, write it down. Take a moment each day to write down in a journal or something similar, something that went well for you during the day. This simple act can take a minute or two, but it allows you time to appreciate the small things which might happen each day, which add up over time. I know for some of you, prayer or some other spiritual practice calls for you to do this in your thoughts, and writing it down is one step further. So number one is write it down. Number two, redirect your thoughts. In today's world, it is easy to think negatively about what has happened, but you can always step back and simply make the decision to focus on the good that you may be overlooking. In sports, we often say, play the next play, meaning don't dwell on something bad that just happened, go forward. This can also happen in everyday life. And what makes it easier to move forward, focusing on the good that has also happened, and perhaps more importantly, the good that you can make happen. As legendary Tennessee basketball coach Pat Summitt said, it is what it is, but we will make it, but it will be what we make it. Number three, share your gratitude with others. Writing a nice note or even an email or text to someone, telling them that you're thankful for them, can have a huge impact on them and you too. It may be that you're thankful for something that they did that day, or simply that you're thankful for their presence in your life. It doesn't have to be corny. It might be. It doesn't have to be corny, but simply write it from the heart, short and sweet, and it can make a difference. These are some easy steps to incorporate gratitude into your everyday life. Small things throughout the day on a consistent basis, and I promise you, you'll feel better about yourself, and you'll make others feel better too. You'll make a positive difference in the world, one small step at a time. Before I close, I want to share a quick story with you, and I hope over the Thanksgiving holiday, you'll think some about this and what I've shared with you. I have a friend who had some very serious health issues come up a year or so ago, and he nearly died. He's doing well now, thanks to some great doctors and nurses. See what I did there? Thanks to some great doctors and nurses and his own attention to diet and exercise. I saw him recently at an event, and he said he had to leave to go run his daily 5 miles, which is a new kind of health thing for him. And I looked at him and said something like, "Man, I hate that you have to do that every day." And he corrected me, and he said, "I don't have to run 5 miles a day. I get to run 5 miles a day." And what a great illustration of gratitude. Rather than focus on the difficulty of his recovery or the circumstances of his health problems, he focuses on the fact that he gets to live every day and be with his family and friends. It's a simple gift we all get every day and should be thankful for. So in a second, I'm going to say thank you and walk off the stage. Don't worry, I'll be right back to present the John Harrison Award. But here's how I'll practice gratitude and what I'll be thinking about when I do that. I'll be thinking that I'm thankful that you guys paid attention. I'm thankful that we all attend or work at this great school and that we are together in these settings. I'm thankful that I get to work with young people like y'all. And I'm hopeful that you can adopt the kind of mindset because it makes us all better. And it feels really good. So GBR, and thank you. It's now my great pleasure to help recognize this year's recipient of the John Harrison Magnanimitas Award. You guys saw in the videos that we've shown you and the way we've spoken about my friend and classmate John Harrison that he was pretty special. He was the tallest guy in our class by about 5 inches. He was the goofiest guy by a huge margin in our class. He had the quickest and sharpest wit and absolutely infectious energy. In the business world, and maybe even in the world around you, you want to be the kind of person people look forward to seeing rather than the person they look forward to leaving. And everyone looked forward to seeing John. What made him someone that the school wanted to honor was that he grew into a compassionate, caring man who really wanted to spread his positive outlook and passion for giving to all those around him. So today we're honored to give this award in his name. I'm always happy to note that the physical award that we will hand out today has the design of a palm tree on it in honor of John, who was known for keeping an old fake palm tree, what he referred to as the spirit palm, in his dorm room. It's a long story, and I will tell you about it some other time if you're interested. We have many people to thank today. That's the theme, right? Giving thanks. Students and faculty, you guys took the time to nominate students for this inaugural award. Special thanks to the committee who had the unenviable and difficult task of working through those nominations to determine a recipient. I served on the committee and was touched by so many of the nominations that came in. You guys are doing a fantastic job, and it speaks to the quality and character of our students that we had so many wonderful anecdotes and stories shared about them by both peers and faculty. We're surrounded by some exceptional young people who are having a tremendous impact on their classmates and communities. Most importantly, I want to extend a special welcome and thanks to John's many friends and family who are here today and who have helped create this award. So can we give them a round of applause? I think it's worth reiterating that it is by design we're giving this award today. First, it's roughly the anniversary of the speech that John gave, from which you've all seen excerpts. And most importantly, it's the last week we'll be together before we break for Thanksgiving. I hope you'll think about Reverend Gallamore's remarks and my remarks and how they fit in with this award. Thanksgiving is a time in which we should consider our many blessings and how we perhaps can help those less fortunate in our communities. It's in this context of gratitude and service that I ask all of us to consider how we can give back to our communities. Part of the responsibility of today's recipients will be to take the $500, which is part of the award, and figure out what to do with it and how to use it to best impact one's community, either here at Baylor or beyond. In the spring, the recipient will speak with all of us at an assembly about what he or she has done with his or her time, talents, and treasures. Part of our hope in giving this award, guys, is to provide for our students a better and longer-lasting understanding of the culture of philanthropy. Philanthropy is giving back. The recipient of the award is just one person, but the challenge before all of us today is to find ways in which we can support the institutions and causes we love and how to make that a more permanent part of our lives. So during this Thanksgiving holiday, I ask all of us, faculty and students and guests, to think about what I've said earlier about practicing gratitude and consider how we go about making a positive difference in the world. Now let's talk about our recipient. I'd like to share some of what the committee read about this year's recipient in the nominations. The recipient was described as a genuine, cheerful, and energetic friend and classmate over the past few years. Someone who never fails to brighten my day and others by being himself. He attacks every day with the same enthusiasm. He is truly a gift. Kind, relentlessly positive, and selfless. He has contagious positive energy that is unmatched, and he never fails to make my day and motivate me. He is constantly engaging with everyone in the dorm to make sure they are having a good day. He goes out of his way to check in with the adults as well. At this time, I'll ask this year's recipient to come forward to receive the award, and I'll ask him to stick around for some pictures and so forth afterward. Please join me in congratulating this year's recipient of the John Harrison Magnanimitas Award, David Wang.
Well, I'm sure if we asked David to come give a speech, he would and could just knock it out of the park, but we won't put you on the spot yet. Congratulations, David. We're so very proud of you. Can we give it up for David one more time?